Hi guys, I'm Meli to Speli, and today I'm going to be doing the Dark Spirits tag. This is going to probably be a longer video just because there's actually a story involved in it. And it's paranormal, and I get very into paranormal type stuff, and I think that this will be a lot of fun. But if you don't like longer videos, then you might not want to watch this one. I'm wearing my glasses for once because I know that I'm going to forget a lot of stuff, and I don't want to just keep awkwardly pausing, so this way I can read the notes that I took on it before just completely fucking up, because I know I will anyway, but this makes it a lot easier for me personally. So I'm going to just jump into it right now. Do you have any experiences with dark spirits? I do. I've had this one come to me semi-constantly since I was 16. And like I said, semi-constantly, so it's not all time like it used to be. But it does happen pretty often. It doesn't happen so much anymore. Like once or twice a month now. I don't know if I don't know. It's just weird how it just went from all of the time to monthly maybe. 2. Have you gotten any unexplained scratches or claw marks, or have you been attacked by a ghost? The only scratches and marks I've gotten were those little tiny scratches that you can get in general, that everybody gets, are probably these cat claws that I got when I used to own my cat, because everybody knows cats like to claw things up. I don't believe in declawing cats because that causes them pain. It's very inhumane. And that's pretty much all. I mean, I did have this one dream where it had to deal with a dark spirit, and I woke up in pain. But that also could have been my anxiety flaring up. I don't really know. And other than that, just the crash I talked about in my last paranormal vlog. Have you had any bad dreams or visions that you were the subject of a ritual or being surrounded by dark figures? If so, what was the dream or dreams about, and what were the figures trying to do to you? I did have one when I was 16 with that same dark spirit. That's the only one that I've ever had, is that dark spirit. As for dark ones, I've had a few good ones too, though. And basically, it was me confronting him because I had finally realized that he wasn't a good person. Or a good spirit, I guess you would say, actually. And so he kept slamming me up against the wall. And it was a brick wall. And I woke up a little bit after that, and I woke up and my top ribs were in pain. That's also a thing that I get quite often because of my anxiety as well, so that could definitely be it as well. So I don't really want to say that had any significant input on me or anything. Maybe it was just anxiety, like I said. Maybe it was that. I don't know. I like to keep an open mind, though. Besides being sick or nauseous, have you had any strange feelings in the stomach during any of the encounters? And if you did, what part of the stomach and what was it like? There were a few times where I got fluttering in my stomach, just generally the middle and the top, I guess. Like you would get whenever you have a crush or you're nervous or something like that. Or even being excited or anything like that. But otherwise, you know that strange feeling that you get in the pit of your stomach whenever you know something's going to go wrong? Or you're at least pretty sure? I've gotten that quite a bit, and that's a little bit weird to me because a lot of the times it was they weren't dark and they weren't light, they were just spirits, or it was just a feeling that I had. But I get that quite often, too. Did you notice any particular health problems at any time in these encounters? And if you did, what were they? A few days before I first started experiencing the dark one, I had my first panic attack. I knew that I had signs of general anxiety disorder beforehand, but I never had an actual attack, so I just figured it was just likeliness. I probably said that wrong because I cannot speak well and it's almost 1 a.m., but you know what? Life is short. Otherwise, I just had really bad depression a lot of the time, but that's always happened. This is the best grip I've ever had on my mental illness whatsoever, whether if it's depression, anxiety, or anything else. Of what is the scariest story, including demons or inhuman spirits, you've heard of? I read from the Weird New Jersey website a while back this one story about this girl who thinks that she saw the Jersey Devil. And I had to do this because I'm from New Jersey. I'm from South New Jersey, which is where it comes from. This is from the Pine Barrens. And the Pine Barrens is a very woody place, I guess you'd say. And also, I don't suggest going there because, not just because of that being like where the Jersey Devil story originated from, but also because when I lived there, and I lived there for 13 years before, everybody was just a horrible person. Like, obviously, things can change. Maybe people have gotten less prejudice or whatsoever. I don't know, but also if you don't like woods, then definitely don't go there because it's a lot of woods. I used to hide in the woods all the time when I was a little kid, and I still love the woods. I wish that there was a woody place around here because the woods are just so fucking refreshing to me. But there was this girl, and she said that she went to a technical high school, and the technical high school held extra credit things for field trips to the Pine Barrens. Which is cool. I can see how that can work out if you take like something that has to do with not the economy, with like ecology and like the woods, earth types of science. It makes a lot of sense. But she went canoeing when she went on these trips, and she was with a friend, and every time that she went canoeing, she would hear these footsteps behind her breaking branches underneath its feet. And she would hear like this, what she described as like a beastly kind of growl. And eventually she felt pretty comfortable with her canoeing that she didn't really look back too often. But then she saw this one bag this one time, and it was torn open, and there was like a hoof print next to it. And the hoof print wasn't just like a regular horse hoof print like most people hear of, but it was like it was like a huge one. And that's one of the things that everybody knows about the Jersey Devil, that he has hooves and they are huge. Sorry about that. And the bag was also torn open, and you could tell that somebody had gone through it. And she stopped for a second to try to like figure out what was up with it. But then she looked back, and her friend looked back, and her friend saw this thing that looked like it was half beast and half human. And that makes me think that maybe it wasn't the Jersey Devil, but it was something else, because everybody that knows about the Jersey Devil knows that he lost all human form the second that he, like, minutes after he was born, after his mom cursed him, but, like, months after before he was born. And it's really interesting, too, because she said that she could, like, see the anger and the hate radiating off of him. And I find that really interesting, and I'd really like to ponder it a little bit more. Like, maybe in another video or something. And then I read another... Okay, I'm going, like, way off topic now. But her friend saw it, and she pointed at it to her. And so they started canoeing back. And like, they would stop every once in a while to try and catch their breath. Or maybe they were running. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. But I think I read it right. But every time that they stopped, they could hear the Jersey Devil getting closer to them, like to the river. And then they finally got back to the campsite where they met their class at. And there is a little cottage type thing that she saw, and through the window she could see this old woman. And her skin was all torn and bloody. But the woman vanished once she got on her bus. And that I find very interesting personally because, I mean, number one, how's a woman disappear? And this is a bit horrifying to me. Especially since I know so many people who claim that they saw the Jersey Devil. And then one time I did see this one really big thing. I don't really know what it was though. With red glowing eyes look at me in my backyard, and maybe that was a Jersey Devil. I don't really know for sure though. I mean, there's a lot of different things it could have been. I mean, not many things have glowing eyes, but there's a lot of different type of things around New Jersey, and different stereotypes, not stereotypes, but like myths and legends there's a tree that there's something about, and then there's this one house that they say that if you go there, it's like Judgment Day. And I find all of this really interesting, and like I don't really remember much of any of it because I haven't read a Weird New Jersey magazine since like 6th or 7th grade. I used to be huge into them though. I used to read them like all the time. They were the best thing ever to me. And the last question is, what is the scariest movie you've seen with demons or inhuman spirits in it? I don't really watch movies that much, especially scary movies, just because I get scared very easily. And I like sleeping, and if I watch a scary movie, I will not sleep for like weeks at a time. So I can't really answer this one so well, but if you guys have seen any scary movies with demons or inhuman spirits in it, then feel free to comment those down below. And comment anything else that you want down below. Do you want to hear more paranormal stories I have? One of my friends who doesn't have a YouTube channel told me a few of her stories, and I'd be interested to tell hers. I already asked her if she'd be okay with me telling them, and she said that she'd be fine with it. If there's any other tags for paranormal stuff, I'd love to do those. Same with if there's any challenges. And I guess that's all for right now. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, then feel free to leave a like, comment, share with your friends and family, especially if you have an uncle or a friend who's really into paranormal stuff. And subscribe to be a Speli. And I'll see all you guys later. Bye!